Okay, we are live here in the hotel room here in Las Vegas, where we're staying at, and wanted to give you guys kind of my final thoughts before I upload my final video to YouTube. Wanted to give you guys my final thoughts on CES this year, in regards specifically to wearables and how everything has gone this year with wearables. It's been a little bit, honestly, of a disappointing year here at CES for wearables. A lot of major companies haven't even shown up. So let me give you some examples. Polar did not even show up. Didn't put a booth up. Didn't announce any products. They weren't. They were just completely absent. Fitbit did not do an exhibit or a booth, even showing off some of their newer products like the Fitbit Ionic. They did have an office to meet with people that might want to do some sort of business negotiations or business arrangements and affiliations, but beyond that, Fitbit didn't show up. They didn't show off any of their products. Didn't have any of that. Mio was another one. Did not show up. TomTom, and specifically for wearables, did not have a booth. Samsung, in specific to wearables, did not have a booth. They had booths for their other products that they make, but in the wearables section of CES, they didn't show up. Garmin was the only major player that showed up, and that was just because they needed to announce the new Garmin 645 Music, and that was the only real product actually that they announced here at CES. So in terms of the big players for wearables, most of them didn't show up, and what we saw on the floor were these smaller startup companies trying to kind of get everybody's attention, but no, there weren't any big players that showed up, so that was a little bit disappointing. Not too many things out there this year. Yeah, just not a whole lot. And part of it is, a lot of these big companies already have announced everything that they released here within the last couple of months. So you got Garmin, you got Samsung, you got Fitbit, all three of them having announced and already released new products that came in time for Christmas. So that kind of makes sense. It makes sense that, if you're going to release a new product, you want to release it right before Christmas time, so that you can get those Christmas sales. And I think that's kind of what a lot of these companies have done. They just didn't want to go with the conventional timeline of announcing something in January when they could announce it in late 2016 and then capture those Christmas sales. And I think that's kind of why a lot of these big companies are doing that. They didn't feel the need to have to wait for CES. They just wanted to put it out there early. Check out any of the. I did not check out any headphones. I wanted to kind of really just focus this year specifically just on wearable tech, like fitness and health wearables. The tech locations that were primarily cameras and televisions and headphones and audio gear. I stayed away from that. I wanted to kind of keep it specific on this channel to just wearables and health and fitness tech. And so. No, fair enough. No large bracelets yet. Yeah, not that I saw. So it was, again, just a disappointing year. So much so where I'm like, gosh, like, do I even come back next year? Because all of these companies seem to be announcing their products at other tech conventions. And so I kind of need to reevaluate here this next year if I even want to come back to CES next year, or if I want to focus in on maybe a wearable specific tech convention where they will actually announce product. And it's not that there weren't any products at all. Again, Garmin did announce the Garmin 645 Music, but other than that, like if you go back and look at like about the 9-10 videos that I've released here this week, there weren't any real major announcements. Nothing huge, nothing earth-shattering, nothing that everybody's got to go out and buy it right now. And so it's been just kind of a disappointing year. Who had the best wearable and health tech? Well, I would say that's right. Hopefully we're back here. We live again. Sorry about that. I think my feed cut out here in the hotel room. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see me back. Does it show that it's recording? It does show that it's recording, so hopefully you guys can see all this. The last question was asking what was the best new tech. If this cuts out again, stick with me. The hotel internet here is terrible. If it cuts out, I'll just go ahead and restart the feed. So just stick with it here. But the question was, what was the best wearable tech? I think Valencell is creating some great sensors. I'm really excited to see where Valencell is going with their sensors. The new sensor that's in the Rhythm 24 from Scosche is a really good sensor. They've upgraded the processor in it. It has several different modes now. So all of the tech that Valencell is supporting. Valencell is also sending out their new sensors to Suunto. So the new Suunto device that's coming out, the Suunto 3 Fitness, while I'm disappointed that it doesn't have GPS, I really like the Valencell sensor that's in it. The same sensor that they've been putting here in their last like Spartan devices. And so I'm really excited for the Scosche Rhythm 24. I think that that Scosche or that Valencell sensor that's in it is going to be a really accurate heart rate sensor, and I really like the different modes that are going to be on that device. So that was probably the thing that I'm most excited about coming from CES here this year, is just the heart rate sensors are going to get a lot better, tracking active heart rate and heart rate variability. And then also those heart rate sensors are also coming now with built-in accelerometers, so everything's just going to become a smaller, more concise package. Suunto is working with MoveSense to develop these sensors that are kind of all-in-one sensors that have both the optical heart rate sensor built in, but also have the accelerometer and have temperature thermostats or thermometers built in. And so they're going to get these, be coming out here, I think, this next year with these all-in-one sensors that can do a lot, which will free up more space on devices for batteries. And that's where a lot of wearables have, especially smart wearables with smart tech, have really suffered. They've just the battery life has been terrible on them. You're getting like the Apple Watch is no exception, right? The Apple Watch, you got a day, maybe two of battery life. Even the Fitbit Ionic is only a few days. And so I would really like to see battery life improve. And one of the ways you do that is by putting in bigger batteries. And one of the ways you put in bigger batteries is by making more space for them, by shrinking down the size of the other sensors. And that's one of the things I think we're going to see is increased accuracy on the sensors that are coming out from like Valencell, for example. And also they're just going to become smaller. So accuracy plus, making them a smaller package is going to, I think, create devices that have better battery life and stuff like that, just because there's more space for batteries. So that's what I've seen here at CES. That's the thing that I've been most impressed with, is just the sensor technology that companies like Valencell are developing for things like the Rhythm 24 and the new Suunto watch. But in general, I was just disappointed overall, just because a lot of these big players didn't show up. Polar, Mio, Fitbit, Samsung, in terms of like the wearable aspect of things, none of them showed up. And so it was just a lot of these other small companies that really honestly don't have any business being at CES. They're trying to compete, but the products that they're offering just aren't even worth covering. And so I've covered a few things here this week, so make sure you check out those videos. I got one more video I'm getting ready to drop here. It's actually for a company called World, and they've created a device called the Hilo LX, and they have the Hilo LX, the LX Plus, and the LX Pro. And these are 3 different wearable bands that they're putting out there. I've had a few of you ask me questions about them, and so I wanted to cover their products here, and I'll have a video and my opinion on their products uploaded here as soon as I get done with this video. So if you have any questions about anything else that I might have seen or didn't see here at CES, feel free to ask those in the comments, and I'll follow up with those questions at some point here this week. But yeah, my takeaways were that this year was kind of a dud year. Not a lot of big players showed up. Nothing, no huge announcements. Garmin's announcement was like, okay. Got a new Forerunner device that has music playback. But at this point, that's something we've seen from other companies already, from Fitbit and from Samsung. So nothing super impressive this year, nothing super innovative. So, unfortunately, so we'll hope that CES 2019 is a little bit better, or that maybe this year that there's another tech convention where some better products and innovation occur. But other than that, it's been a dud year. So hey guys, thanks for tuning in. My name's Eric, and I'm the Techie Agent. We'll catch you next time. I'm trying to end this, and it won't let me end it now. There we go.